How does art affect us? Let's take, for example, paintings hanging on your wall at the home, especially works of great masters. I'd like to give an example from my personal life. Once I was visiting my friends. I was sitting and waiting for them to come out on the living room couch. Suddenly I realized that the space around me was a huge negative. It was so negative that although I tend to think of myself as a fairly thick person and not really responsive to outside stimulus, I experienced such a depressive, a state of suicide, the state of utter self-destruction. And I felt such an immense sense of unease. I started looking for the source, and I found that the source of this information was the painting hanging right in front of me on the wall. When my friends came into the room, I asked them right away, "Hey, could you please give me the story of this painting?" And they said that this painting was made by a good friend of theirs. He made it at a certain point, he gave it to them. And he's an amazing guy. He's just a wonderful person, and he was incredible. And I said, when I heard the word was, I could you be more specific? And they said, well, actually, he committed suicide by jumping out the window. I tell them, do you know that although this is a magnificent oil painting scenery, but it radiates a state of death, self-destruction. And then another friend of ours stepped in and said, well, can we maybe pray at the painting and create the conditions for the negativity to go away? And he said, you know what? To be honest with you, until we change the state of the soul of the man who painted this painting will radiate death and suicide alone. And only if he changes, but either through the power of our prayers or through his next reincarnation, then can anything change. And that is why I offered them to take it off, and you can't really re-gift it because you would only wish it to an enemy. But I think that it's not recommended. That is why I can tell you that paintings have a very strong impact on us. And I even offered my artist friends to exhibit their paintings covered with a canvas, and then to have every person come up to the painting and then just experience their feelings. And if they felt good, if they felt comfortable, if they felt amazing from it, he would open the canvas and look at what was painted on it. Because the basis of any action that is made by an artist is the condition, the state, and each of us is an artist. No matter if we make television, we make furniture, we draw paintings, we at this point invest a part of ourselves. A friend of mine asked, Sasha, could you look at my paintings and tell me, what do you feel? What did I put there? And I said, no problem, let's do that, show them to me. As I see, it's beautiful. You know, I'm not an artist, but that's why everything is pretty for me when it's drawn in a well-done way. I mean, I can't do it. It's a beautiful spring day, houses, buildings, trees, blooming, the road. And at that moment, I said, you know, the painting looks fabulous. The technique is amazing, impeccable, although I'm no expert. But, oh man, I feel so depressed when I look at it. It radiates something horrible. I can't look. And she says, you know, I painted it after I had a fight with my mother, and I felt really bad. And she said, look at this painting. I said, you know what? You can be mad at me all you want, but I have a sense that there's also depression here, but about half as much. And she said, you know, yeah, I made this painting the day after, and I kind of felt a bit better. And I can tell you that if you listen to yourself, to your feelings, no matter if it's food, painting, the sea, the beach, the street, the house, furniture, just listen to your feelings, observe yourself. In time, you will begin to feel everything you interact with. And if you think creatively, you will come to a restaurant and without even looking at the menu, pick a line in the menu, get the experience you feel, and say, this is what I want. And they will bring to you, and you say, this is the dish that was meant for you, and you didn't even know it existed. And that is why paintings have a tremendous impact on us. Like all objects, like books, are very, very powerful depending on who created them. And we shouldn't care what it says. We should care about the state it was made in. It resonates with us. And if it's a person in a certain bad state that was due to, it destroys us. For example, Sergei Lazarev. He's a writer he writes books about love. When I tried reading them, I felt depressed. That was the first state I had. I wanted to either shoot myself or hang myself, and I didn't know what to do first. And that was the state he was in when he was writing the book. At the same time, it's relatively informative. But you gotta realize that the basis is not the label and the content. So we'd like to have the candy made of chocolate.